60 miles an hour with the wind in my face. Hands up on the grips and my feet up on the pegs. Going down the road for a ride somewhere. Before I get too far, I'll say a biker's prayer. Won't you watch over me while I'm riding today? Send me down an angel to keep me steady on my way. 'Cause you know that I'm not perfect and I'm in need of some salvation. In the meantime, let me ride in peace through this beautiful creation. My woman sits behind me, up high in her queen's chair. One arm around my waist and one hand going through my hair. The peaceful countryside is filling up our senses, and the rhythm of the ride, it makes my soul break through the fences. For me, it's not about the chrome, the leather, or the steel. It's all about the connection with something beautiful and real. When you're balanced on two wheels, riding gentle sounds of thunder, rolling past the fields in this spell that I'm under. Won't you watch over me while I'm riding today? Send me down an angel to keep me steady on my way. 'Cause you know that I'm not perfect and I'm in need of some salvation. In the meantime, let me ride in peace through this beautiful creation.
Well, Lurch, should we do this thing?
Let's do it.
And now, straight from the Law-Abiding Biker Media Studio,
out of sunny Yakima, Washington,
we bring you another episode of the
#1 listen to motorcycle podcast.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
Oh, yeah. Feel it, Lurch.
I feel it in my giggleberries.
Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority of the big MM, also known as the
99%.
That's right. You heard it from Lurch right there. Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene, guys. That's right. More than any time in history. It is what we call a biker revolution, bitches. So, you have a question for him, Lurch? Yes, no. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Mount up. Let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but not quite as eloquently as you, sir.
Well, I was waiting. All right, guys. Welcome back. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast, and of course, your
high-tech redneck.
And of course, we open there, guys. We want to give appropriate credits. The opening song there was a nice little gem that I came across.
I like that. I hadn't heard that before.
Okay. Did I not send a link at some point? Maybe I didn't.
You sent me the show notes, but I didn't have time to click the link and listen to the song.
Okay. So you guys want to get that song? We give appropriate credit. It was a gem that we wanted to share with the biker community out there, the law-abiding biker community, of course. Pretty awesome song, and it is by Bill Farrell. That's Bill, Ferrell, and we have an iTunes affiliate link, of course. No additional cost to you. We do get a small kickback if you purchase it, but it's a direct link to the iTunes song. It will be in the show notes, and it's called Biker's Prayer by Bill Farrell, and that was just a small little piece of it. So, Lurch in the house, what's new, buddy? What's new in your life?
Well, not a whole lot. I just had to do a little sprinkler repair. My main line on my sprinklers cracked, and I had to dig up one of my valve boxes and fix it.
And what was the temp out while you're doing that?
Oh, 90, 95.
Good times.
I was sweating Coors Light out like nobody's business.
I would have came and helped you. You know that I offered.
Oh, I know. It's one of those deals where you just have to stand around and watch me.
Yeah.
It's not really a two-man job, but I appreciate the offer, brother.
You know it. All right, so we got a pretty loaded episode for you guys. Main topic today, we're going to be going over some Harleys and engine heat, some what we call EITMS. We will get into that and explain what that is. We've, I think, touched on it in the past, but we've never done an episode.
No, we've just discussed it on other podcasts.
Right.
But we're going to break it down like Julie Brown.
Straight up, dude. And we got a Harley-Davidson saddlebag recall. Do you want to go over this one real quick, dude? I did do a article on it, guys. We're going to tell you, of course, but if you go to lawabidingbiker.com/saddlebag recall and the number 1, or just go to our website, like Lurch always says, use that search bar in the upper right-hand corner and just do saddlebag recall. But here's the, do you know much about this, Lurch? Because it affected your bike.
It sure did, but I took alternative measures to change out my clips, which we will probably discuss in a further podcast. But there's a recall on the clip system, the pins that go in and turn a quarter turn. Here recently, there's been enough of them anyways for Harley-Davidson to recall them and change them because bags were flying off of bikes. And obviously, if you're riding in a pack and a bag goes flying by your head, that's a little bit dangerous. So you can go in and get this recall done. It's pretty quick. They go in and change the Zeus clips and the pins, and you're off and ready to go again.
So it's a Harley-Davidson saddlebag recall. NHTSA recall campaign number 15, V as in Victor -427, if you want to look it up. Of course, anytime you can go to harleydavidson.com and you can type in, if you have an account with them, it's free. And you can put in your bike and you can enter your VIN number and it will tell any recalls that need to be done on your bike. So I had this recall completed. It took literally 5 minutes, guys. They didn't even take it back. They just did it right where you pull up to the dealership. And they replaced the pins in less than 5 minutes. So it's a super simple recall, but it wasn't affecting everybody. But I did hear members, and I apologize. I know he's a listener, and he emailed us about a year ago and says, "Hey, have you heard anything? I lost my saddlebag going down the road, and have you heard anything?" And it was I think he's running a 14 Harley Touring. And I said, no, that's the first time I heard of that. And he battled and we went back and forth and he was like, should I get an attorney? And I'm like, no, I think it was a fluke thing back then. And little did he know, he emailed me back. And I'm sorry that I slipped the name right now, but emailed me back and said, that's what I was saying. And they did, he had to cause a little, uprise, so to speak, with his dealership to get them to replace that. Without it costing him anybody, but he exactly was experiencing what they now a year later. So
yeah, I can't remember who that was, but I remember in that
you know
thread
what I'm talking about.
That thread was on Facebook, and I remember Dan Jaffers was talking about it. He was riding in a group of his brothers, and somebody lost a saddlebag and went whizzing by them all.
Dan Jaffers is a patron of ours and a very loyal supporter in the private Facebook group, of course, because he is a patron. So. Yeah, you're right. It was there. And then I know there was an email thread too, but enough about that, guys. So there you go. There's the information. It's Harley-Davidson Motor Company stating that saddlebag mounting receptacle, there's a PIN number here on my article, model years 2014 and 15 touring family vehicles may not adequately secure the saddlebag. All right, we already gave you the remedy. So enough of that. And again, did the article on it. So we've got a voicemail here.
Oh yeah, you gonna play it?
Well, I think it's a good intro to kind of what we're going to be talking about because it's kind of a 2 or 3 pronged question.
Yeah, we haven't had a good voicemail in a while that relates to the podcast, anyways. So it'd be nice to play one.
I've been saving them.
Oh, you've been hoarding them.
Well, they gotta fit in, and
right.
We've had so much stuff coming up.
I hear you chirping.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But I definitely don't get rid of them, and I keep them for when they do fit and for a topic and stuff like that. And if you guys want to leave a voicemail, we've made it so easy for you guys. So easy. lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. Right from your computer, microphone, anywhere in the world for free. It's that simple. Get on your computer, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. And of course, we have the hotline if you don't have a computer whatsoever. And actually you can do that from your smartphone, guys, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail too. You can do it from your phone, even if you want to do it that way. But we also have a hotline, 509-731-3548. We love the voicemails. And let me cue this one up here and let's take a listen.
Hello, my name is William. I live in Florida. I have a question about exhaust. I just bought a 2015 Street Glide Special. Love the bike. Exhaust where catalytic converter is gets super hot. Wanting to try to get rid of some heat and maybe gut the cats. Don't want to change pipes. Don't want to change slip-ons. Will I have to add a tuner or race tune it or something? If you could get back to me at WM.
All right, so that was his voicemail, and I'm not going to lie to Lurch. I think he's got a little something else going on here.
I've got a fun burning in my pants now. Whoa.
I think he's saying his cats are hot and he's got a burning crotch.
It's either herpes, gonorrhea, or the clap now.
Should he check that first before he checks his catalytic converters?
You might want to make sure if your crotch is burning, you might want to see a doctor and then check your cats.
Right. Sing it with me.
Crotch is burning.
But anyways, do you have do you want to respond to that somewhat about the catalytic converters?
Well, you'll definitely need to remap your intake because you're changing part of your exhaust. So you're moving the catalytic converters, which is going to change the airflow through the pipes. It's going to change the back pressure. So it's going to change the settings that the bike has. And your stock map is probably not going to work real well for that. You could go down to Harley-Davidson and have it remapped, but in our opinion, you're wasting your money because that's going to cost you $250. You know, for $359, you can still put a FP3 on there for you. And
Vance and Hines Fuel Pack 3.
Yeah, and have all the benefits that affords you. So my response is yes, if you take your cats out and change the way your bike runs, you should remap it. And an EFI tuner is your best solution, in our opinion.
So, yeah, all jokes aside, the crotch is burning there, but those will, with those catalytic converters in there, guys, we're going to start talking today. Obviously, the main topic about Harleys and some engine heat and things like that. But one of the biggest culprits of engine heat is the catalytic converters being in. And everybody knows riding a Harley in hot weather, especially when we were down in Sturgis at 100 degrees and you're in a line of motorcycles forever, my inner loins were dripping sweat. I mean, and it's hot. Not as hot if you take the catalytic converters out.
Yeah, let a little bit of that heat out the back end instead of storing it up. The way the catalytic converter works is it gets hot, it gets glowing red hot, and so that the unburnt fuel that goes through there is then burned. I mean, it just helps the bike run more efficiently. I shouldn't say
for
that.
emissions.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a pure federal.
I was about to correct myself there. It is to clean up the emissions coming out of the bike. So that's why it's so dang hot, is so it can reburn fuel and what other things are coming through there.
Yes. And most of the time the cats are right down where they meet down by your feet.
Yeah, right down there by your right leg.
Yeah, right.
So the heat radiates up to your crotch, and your crotch will be on fire.
Where it chambers. So, yeah, on that. And also, guys, we want to give obviously we've done it in the past, a disclaimer. We're talking about removing catalytic converters. You really need to decide, and I'll just tell you right now, California, you can just fast forward because don't do it if you're in California. They have very, very unfortunate, strict, insane emissions laws down there. And in fact, when you buy stuff we have obviously pipes from certain companies right on the box in orange tapes. It says, "Attention California, blah, blah, blah. You can't use these."
This is for track use only in California.
Yes, exactly. And so, you have to be aware of your state, local, and federal laws regarding the removal of cats. Here's what I say, and I've told you guys in the past, let's just say Vance and Hines, you get a set of pipes from them, a header pipes. Well, they're coming without catalytic converters. Anyways, so in a lot of states, it's going to be legal to remove the catalytic converters because you can use those pipes aftermarket without catalytic converters. But again, we can't sit here and tell you what to do, and we certainly don't know all the states' particular laws and things like that. So check around, see what's happening in your area and what works for you. But certainly if you can do that, I think that's a good move on your part, is getting rid of those catalytic converters. And like Lurch says, you do need to remap. You can probably still ride it. And I've had guys email me, and that's wonderful. Go ahead and ride it, but it's not going to be running to the way it should be. And it may not be anything you notice. It may be in fuel economy. It may be, it may be a spark plug issue where it's fouling some. There can be that's just an example. There can be a ton of things where it wouldn't be like, oh my God, my bike's won't even start kind of deal. You can still ride it down the road, but it's not going to be running optimum performance.
Yes, so exactly. It won't be running efficiently and at optimum peak performance.
Love it. Very nice one for Lurch. First one of the episode today. So any other on that, Lurch? Anything else?
Well, we do have some podcast episodes.
If
you want to go back and list some of our information on EFI tuners, like the Dyno Jet and the FP3, the Advanced Science FP3, you can go back to episode 34. Got a whole bunch of information on the Advanced Science FP3, versus the Dyno Jet.
No, that's
Vision.
81.
Oh, I'm looking at the two things together. Our original one is on EFI tuners, is number 34, episode 34, just on EFI tuners in general. Then episode 81 is on the Advanced Science Fuel Pack 3 versus the Dyno Jet Power Vision. So check that out, and if you have any questions about EFI tuners, go there and we'll answer every question you got.
Absolutely. And we
got some videos too.
Yes, we do. What are those videos that you can refer to?
Yeah, we got one on the Power Commander 5. It's lawabidingbiker.com/Power Commander 5, number 5. And we also did a follow-up video on the auto tuner, Dyno Jet auto tuner, and that is lawabidingbiker.com/auto tuner. And then we got into our FP3s, our Advanced Science Fuel Pack 3s. We've got lawabidingbiker.com/Fuel Pack 3.
Fuel Pack, PAK, and the number 3.
Yep. And then we got one on the Power Vision, /Power Vision.
There you go, guys. Those are the resources. And again, we urge you, and me and Lurch answer a lot of emails each day. And we can tell you, we don't want to beat a dead horse, but if you simply we love making contact with you guys, but it sucks that you have to wait for an answer that you could have gotten by just going to lawabidingbiker.com. And in the upper right-hand corner of each page is a search bar. That's how we find stuff, literally. Because we've done so much on this website now. I literally just go to lawabidingbiker.com myself, and it's my website. And I type in the search bar EFI or Power Vision or Fuel Pack 3 or anything, rear tire, front fender, gas tank, anything that you're looking for. And you're going to get a search result, and it's super accurate. Have you found that to be the truth?
I do, because we've done so much. Some of the stuff I forget, or some of the stuff I wasn't involved with, but I'm answering a question about it. So I just put in whatever the topic is in lawabidingbiker.com, and bingo, boinga, bango, up comes an answer.
Love it.
If we've dealt with it, and then I use that information to answer the email. So like you said, the public and the community can just go right on there and search first. And if they don't find something, then hit us up with an email. If we don't know it, we'll try and figure it out for you.
Right, because you could get instant gratification with a free video popping up if you search. And unfortunately, we are inundated with emails now at this point, and we feel bad because we can't get back to you right away. We're like, darn, I wish you would have just searched. You could have got on that right away. So,
and everybody wants to be gratified instantly.
Oh, that is the American dream, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into a little bit of EITMS. We did do a free video quite some time ago on this, guys. And what EITMS stands for is Engine Idle Temperature Management System. It's many Harleys are equipped with it. And I will be quite honest, I don't know off the top of my head exactly what year they started putting EITMS on motorcycles. I do know that my 2011 Street Glide had it.
My 08 Street Glide had it.
Oh, it did? Yes, yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So at least back to 08, likely.
Probably about 06, I would guess.
Yeah, that would be my guess too. Because I can't remember. I don't think my Dyna. It did not. My 05 Dyna Wide Glide did not have it.
No, and my 06 didn't either. My 06 Wide Glide didn't, but
your 08 Street Glide
Street
did.
Glide did.
And
yeah, somewhere in there. 06, 07, 08, I think is probably when it starts.
Yeah.
Don't hold us to that, but that's our guess.
I think that's fair. So they started putting this on guys, and I will tell you, I have met a lot of Harley riders, and it amazes me that, and that's why we're putting the information out, guys. That's what we are here for. We did a video on this, and we're putting the information out because a lot of guys that we've contacted, Harley riders and things, are unaware that they even have EITMS. And number two, they don't know if it's activated or deactivated. They don't know if they're running it. They don't really know what it's for. And so that is what we're here for. Of course, I encourage you to go ahead and check the video out. It's a free video, of course, one of our hundreds of free videos here at Law Abiding Biker Media for you guys. And there's also an article there with everything that we're going to talk about today. And it is at lawabidingbiker.com/guess.
EITMS.
Yeah, EITMS. Imagine that, how fitting. So let's talk about it a little bit. Again, engine idle temperature management system. You want to go with this, Lurch, or you want me to go and then clean it up? It's up to you.
Oh, you assume you're going to have to clean it up?
Well, I might.
You are the host. You are pretty good. I'm sure you'll find something to clean up in there. Well, EITMS is really beneficial for riders who find themselves frequently in riding conditions where the bike is subjected to long idle conditions or traffic congestion where the engine can get hot. And what it does is it shuts down the rear cylinder. And what I mean by that is it just pumps air through it and keeps it cool. I know I keep mine on all the time. You keep yours on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be surprised how often it kicks on. It doesn't necessarily have to be 100 degrees out. It might be a long stop at a stoplight, and it
actually has nothing. It doesn't have to do with ambient air temperature. It's really when the motor gets to a specified. And I've been riding in 50-degree weather and it kicks on. Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. If you're sitting for a long enough time, it may kick on, and it may not be that hot out. It's more likely to come on hot days. I know that when we took our trip down to
it comes on
San
every
Fran,
time I start my bike, pretty much regardless of temperature, unless it's like down below 40.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It just comes on all the time because it's the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It came on every stoplight we're at down in San Francisco. That was hotter than two rats humping in a wool sock when we pulled into San Fran. That was a hot trip. And it just keeps that motor cooler. So the back cylinder shuts down and it starts pumping air through there. And, you're not going to notice a whole lot, except for you might feel a little bit of difference in the cadence of the motor, and you might smell a little bit of more of a rich gas
They
smell.
should notice it now, dude. On these new bikes, it's noticeable.
On the brand new ones, yeah. I'd say on these new 103s, I'll agree with you. It's more noticeable on my 103 than it was on my 96.
More
on
pronounced.
And
your 96 or your
the motor. My 96-inch motor. Yeah, that one, you couldn't tell as much. It seems like it's a little more pronounced on these newer motors, and it might just be because there's more displacement. It's just a bigger motor. Maybe it's more obvious.
Yeah, I agree. My 2011, it was, you had to kind of wait for it. And I could tell, but dude.
As soon as it kicks on, you can tell.
As soon as I start my bike right now, so I went for a ride yesterday, and it was, 85? It was a little bit cooler day. 90?
Yeah, it was probably around 90.
Oh, no, because that was maybe it was hotter than I thought. But let's just say 90, somewhere around there. And it's been like that all summer, 90 to 100, whatever. Literally, I start it down in the garage. Within a minute of idle, it kicks on. And it's so pronounced. And the video I did in it shows you. And
you can hear it.
Yeah, I show you. And then I do little pop-ups like, there, you heard it. It went on now. So you can understand. And like Lurch says, the bike is going to have a different cadence to it, and it's going to start shaking a little bit, and it's definitely going to sound different. And some guys have thought that something's wrong with their bike, and they've actually taken it into dealerships. They're like, that's EITMS, bro. So that's why we want to make you guys aware of it. It's normal. Like Lurch says, it can have a particular smell to it. There's my video right there, engine idle temperature management system. And I wonder how many hits we have on that video, Lurch. What do you
Check
think?
it out.
Let's check it out. I'm turning the video. So it's got 7,442.
Respectable.
And that just has obviously a lot of comments on it. Look at my EITMS. Here's a comment. My EITMS was disabled for the first 15,000 miles, and after my 15,000 mile checkup, I noticed that the EITMS was enabled. It always shows enabled, even while riding, and when I come to a stop, it shows active when the rear cylinder cuts out. Just wondering if it always shows enabled. No, it shouldn't show. That was a question on YouTube, guys. We didn't answer that. That's weird, huh?
The dealer must have turned it on for him at his 15,000 mile service.
That's what I'm thinking too. And so, no, Gary Lemons, who 3 months ago commented on our YouTube channel here, it shouldn't. You could actually, we're going to walk you through here in a moment verbally. And of course, the video does that for you, but verbally. And so while you're listening to this, if you're at home, I encourage you to just walk out to your bike while you're listening to this and check it out.
Quit
And
playing with yourself.
Yeah.
And get out there and look at your bike.
That's
Get
right.
your hand out of your shorts, get off the couch, go out there and look at that bike. We're going to walk you right through how to turn this thing on and off. It's pretty simple.
It is. And then you can fire your bike up and see what's going on there. Before we do that, Lurch, I just want to take a really quick break here. Hey, Bikeaholics, do you have your grip on?
You know, the biker gripper.
Simply the best motorcycle cell phone, GPS, radar detector, and EFI tuner mount on the market.
Oh, it grips so tight.
That's right, 18 pounds grip strength to be exact.
So sleek and strong.
That's right, fits American or metric motorcycles and comes in black or chrome.
So what are you waiting for? Get your grip on.
You can get the Biker Gripper exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store. Head over to www.lawabidingbiker.com/store and get your grip on.
All right, guys. So to get a little more down into this EITMS and make a little more sense of this, we've basically went over it. But here we go. We're going to get a little more factual about it. So when engine temperature reaches a predetermined point at idle, again, at idle, guys, this, I guess I want to get rid of the worry that this thing, goes on while you're doing 60 down the road.
Good point.
And all that kind of stuff. And I hear a lot of guys, well, I don't want to run it because I'm worried about this. I think we're going to get rid of any fears. I run mine all the time and obviously I ride a lot. So it is only, we're going to tell you the conditions when the EITMS actually kicks on. So when engine temperature reaches a predetermined point at idle, the EITMS will turn off. The rear cylinder fuel injector idle speed will be maintained. However, the rear cylinder will become an, quote, air pump, which will work to cool the engine. The cylinder will suck in air to cool the engine. So that's all it's doing, guys. It's shutting down your rear cylinder at idle when you're stopped at an intersection, and it is turning that rear cylinder into an air pump, cutting off the fuel injector, all that kind of stuff. Basically giving your engine the ability to cool itself a bit. Honestly, don't know how much it cools it, but it's kind of a cool idea. I don't know if any other manufacturers or have you heard of that before?
No, this is the only bike I've heard of it on. It's possible that it is on others, but to my knowledge, it's just on the Harleys.
Yeah, the air cooled, obviously. All right. Do you want to go over EITMS will activate under these conditions? So before Lurch gets going here, these conditions have to be met before it will actually activate. So it's not going to do it going 60 miles an hour down the road.
No.
So go ahead and give them when.
Can you make it just a little bit bigger for me?
I can. If I had, dude, and
Hey,
I'm just going to burn myself,
so
dude.
little. Make it bigger.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that. Yeah.
I'm getting old.
I'd still have a small dick, but I'd be retired.
The older I get, I wear contacts too. I don't know if it's just my old age or what, but that screen, I can almost just barely see
I
it.
am making it bigger, and Lurch is over on the
Okay,
couch,
see
and
it.
I'm over
Let me see
here,
it.
but I'm making the screen bigger.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect, man. I can see that from across. Oh, no, now it's too big.
Oh,
It's too big. I can't handle that.
now, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I
That's
would
perfect.
definitely be
Keep it right there,
retired.
Big Daddy.
All right.
Okay, so these are the situations when these things have to be met for it to come on. The engine temperature exceeds 284 degrees Fahrenheit or 140 degrees Celsius. And the
Don't worry about that.
the twist grip opening is at idle. So you're sitting there idle, your throttle's at idle, your grip.
Right.
Vehicle
Throttle.
speed is under 1 mile an hour, and your engine speed is under 1,200 RPMs. Those have to be met for it to kick on.
And most of our bikes, guys, idle at around 1,000 to 1,100.
Yeah, about 1,000.
So I've never had it go on unless I'm completely stopped in the garage at an intersection, whatever it may be. I will tell you that the 284 Fahrenheit is fairly close to that because I run my Fuel Pack 3 on my smartphone via Bluetooth, and I can see real-time gauges and data.
Another reason to put the FP3 on your bike instead of wasting $250 for a Stage 1 map download at your local dealership.
Absolutely, Lurch. Well said. And so I'm looking at real-time data on my motor, and I've done it before. Me and Oscar both have. He's obviously has the Power Vision on his bike, and I have the Fuel Pack 3, and we both are right around within that 280, 284. It kicks right on. Usually mine's about 281. They say 284, but give or take a couple, whatever. It's fairly true to that. And it doesn't take much for your motor to get 284. I mean, mine may kick on, like I say, just a little bit before that at idle and things like that. But really, guys, if you're running real-time data, you'll realize that 284 is not uncommon even in 60-degree weather.
It's not that much when you consider that most automotive engines, their thermostat opens up at 180 to 200 degrees.
Oh, there you
go. To cool motor down, so your motor is running in the low 200s. So to have an air-cooled motor, get
Right.
284, not that hard.
And of course, once you're moving, it's going to be less than 284.
Right.
But yeah, when you're sitting there and again, if you have those cats in, what we were talking about, on top of everything else, those cats are just adding to the overall engine, the whole bundle there.
They're not letting heat out the back end, and they're hot, so just being in close proximity to the motor, they're going to provide heat.
That's what exactly.
Plus, they're not letting the heat out the backside, out the pipes, so it's staying in the motor.
And I thought I actually wanted to do this episode earlier in the summer, but still, it's summer here.
Oh, it's balls out
we're
here.
Getting a little cooler nights, but
a little bit.
By the time this airs, it'll still be obviously summer and still fairly hot. So we wanted to go over some of these things. So, all right. So EITMS will disable. Do you want to go over these high points? This is when.
Yeah.
So let's just go over this. You're stopped in an intersection. Your EITMS is going. You feel your cadence different, and all that kind of stuff. And now you're getting ready to head out. It's a green light. It's freaking go time. Go time, Lurch. And when is this thing going to kick off? I'll tell you immediately, and you'll hear why.
So these are the things that'll kick off your EITMS. The first one is the engine temperature falls below 275
Get on down
degrees.
the road. Get on down the road. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
You twist your grip. So your twist grip sensor opening is above idle.
So as soon as you
turn your throttle, it kicks off. Your vehicle speed exceeds 2 miles an hour. Your engine.
So yours never kicks off, Lurch.
Engine speed exceeds 1,350 RPMs, or the clutch is released with the vehicle in gear.
Mm-hmm.
So those things will turn that thing off. So pretty much anything. Once you start moving, it's coming off.
That's what I mean. That's why it never goes on while you're moving, because the clutch is released with the vehicle in gear. You'd have to be going under 2 miles an hour with your clutch in for a little while to even get it to understand. So yeah, this is a at stop deal, guys. And I'll tell you, back in 2011 when I had it, I was a little worried about it because I wasn't educated on it yet. And I started testing it, and I really dove in and to the facts and what actually happens. And now
No big deal. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys tested some Harleys at work. Did they have the EITMS on or off when you were doing slow speed drills?
Good freaking
Not sure.
question. I don't know.
Because I mean, under 2 miles an hour is pretty slow,
and
you're working your clutch a lot. I don't imagine it would come on, but I mean, maybe.
Right.
But probably not.
We were never stopped long enough to see, you know what I mean? That's a good question because I'm in the midst of doing some more of that training. And so, yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually check those bikes. Oh, thank you. I'm actually going to check those bikes and see if it's actually
Would
enabled.
you? I don't think
that's a good question, dude. I don't know why I didn't even think of that.
I don't think you're going to have the clutch in and going less than 2 miles an hour often enough. I know you got to come to almost a complete stop, but you're doing a lot of gray area. I don't think you're going to have clutch in all the way. Probably wouldn't kick on, but I'm a little curious.
And
I can't see it happening, but
because that's really what it's for. It was made for
when you're stopped,
parade bikes, parade situations, heavy congested traffic situations. I mean, you can have it on all the time, but it was really made for those that are running in parades.
Because even if you're doing slow speed drills and you're dragging your rear brake a little bit, you're popping the clutch in and out.
You're still above those RPM.
Yeah, you're probably above the RPMs and you're probably above 1 or 2 miles an hour. And even if you're not, you're working that clutch in and out, kind of feathering it, kind of keeping yourself going. So it probably wouldn't kick on, but it's a thought I had.
But if you sit there while it's idling, which I never did, it's either I'm running it or it's off.
Right.
So I never sat there to see if it kicked on. But good question, Lurch. Great question. I'm going to have to test that now. All right.
A little empirical testing.
So like he says, so in an intersection, I will tell you, and I don't know what your experience is with this, Lurch, on the EITMS, I have it on all the time. I just leave it on year round, guys. Now it's only going to kick on when it needs to. I don't really care. All it can do is help my motor, whatever. But when I'm sitting in an intersection and it's got the cadence going, every intersection this time of year kicks on within about 2 seconds of actually making a complete stop. I can feel it. I know what to listen for. Right. I know the feel. But one thing I found, because your back cylinder is kicked off and it's kind of trying to cool, and many of us bikers, we roll this way anyways, whether this is on or not.
Give it a little brop.
Yes.
Twist the throttle real quick, then let go.
Yes, and I found that to be very beneficial because...
I have to. I'm glad you brought that up.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Because I have at times taken off while it's on, and it feels like it kind of chugs a little bit. You can kind of hear it in the motor. But you can get rid of that by just giving the throttle a little twist before you take off, which most of us do anyway.
That's what I mean. And so he's saying
because we just want everybody to know.
Right.
We're about ready to roll. So you give it a little twist and then go, and that gets it out of that EITMS mode. And I found that it is beneficial to do that.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I give it a couple snaps of the throttle, just there, wow, and that gets it right out. And then I have the motors kicking. And I do that without EITMS just because you want to get everything firing and going, so you don't kill it.
Right.
While you're letting the clutch out, you can.
Plus, it kind of lets everybody around you know you're getting ready to take off. There's that pop, pop, and they look your way. And
plus, you feel really cool, don't you, Lurch?
That's a side benefit, but mostly it's to let other people know you're getting ready to move.
Oh, I love it, dude. Love it. So yeah, we do, and Lurch, you heard it from there. We do find that beneficial if you're going to be running it. Is as soon as before the light's going to turn green, I'll give it that couple snaps, and that gets you firing on all cylinders again.
Brap, brap.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk real quick about enabling this, enabling and disabling this EITMS. You know what we should do, Lurch? I'm just saying, dude, we should thank some people here because, this thing is made possible by these people, man. This would not be possible without our beloved patrons.
Yes, we'd like to thank a few patrons. And if you're listening to this app, if you're listening to this podcast on the app, you can thank the patrons. They help fund the app. So that thing ain't free, One of them is Jeffrey. And Jeffrey, you didn't put your last name in. We just don't know what your last name is. But Jeffrey out there in cyberspace, thank you, brother. Appreciate your support. You know who you are. John Leister.
No, it's Lister, and he was one of the patrons at the meetup down in Sturgis.
I didn't get to go. You met him and
John Lister.
And what did he tell you? Hey, dude, it ain't Leister.
No, I asked him like 3 times. I'm probably still saying it wrong right now. No, So I asked him through. I'm like, which is it, man? Because I don't want to say it wrong. So
Well, thank you for correcting me. I will never make that mistake again, John. I apologize.
great guy.
John Lister, Brad Creek, Alberta, Canada. Shout out to Canada. We got a lot of crazy Canadians that enjoy our podcast.
Yeah,
I'll
sure,
be
you
coming up
betcha.
to Alberta next year and killing one of your deer. Thank you very much.
What's that a butte? What's that a butte? Sorry, John.
A boat?
That was fun.
I'll be drinking your really expensive beer and killing some of your deer. Anyways, we'd also like to say thank Gabe DiMaglio of, what is that? Abernale? Check that for me.
Albemarle, North Carolina.
Albemarle, North
guess.
Carolina. So thank you, patrons. We appreciate it. We the love and support you give us really is heartfelt, and we're honored by it, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Loved meeting them down in Sturgis like we talked about.
Yeah,
and
sorry I missed out on that, guys. Would like to meet you.
Next time. All right, guys, patrons, that's right. They support the show. They took action. Do it. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. Patreon. You too can pledge a certain amount per piece of content we put out with absolutely no risk. That's right. You can set a cap on it. It helps put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank.
And keep this bitch running on down the road.
That's right, guys. We do appreciate so much, and that's why we take time. Obviously, you guys know right in the middle of episodes, because we could not fund this thing and keep going on down the road, like Lurch says, without your support. So, all right, let's get back into EITMS. How to enable and disable EITMS, Lurch, if you want to handle that.
Do you want me to talk about what it is, or just how to turn it on?
No. We've already went through what it is, and we all know what it is. Now we need to know these bikers are listening right now. They've jumped up from fondling themselves on the sofa in front of a Sears catalog, and they are down at their bikes now, and they want to know, how do I check if this son of a biatch is on and if it's working for me?
Sears catalog still. I mean, there's a free porn on the internet. You're really looking at Sears catalog.
Sears catalog. What was that? Remember? He was doing a lie detector. I forget. We used to use a sound clip, and it was like, and then he was like, Victoria's Secret catalog, Sears catalog. It was from
Simpsons.
Simpsons, yeah, Simpsons. That was a funny clip.
So EITMS, how to enable and disable it. EITMS. EITMS. You get what I'm saying, people. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you quit scrolling around there.
Oh, sorry.
It's down a little bit lower. Right there.
Okay.
Keep it right there. All right. So looking at the show notes from the website, by the way, guys, if you just go search EITMS is what's going to pop up. So in order to enable it, you need to turn your ignition switch to the on position and push the engine on-off switch on the right handlebar to run. So you got to have your ignition on. You got to be on run. And the motorcycle may be running or may not. It doesn't necessarily matter. Now you take the throttle and you twist it forward. It will go, what do you say, about a quarter inch or so?
Yeah. Roll it forward.
You roll it forward past the idle neutral, if you will, where it normally sits. Roll it forward about a quarter inch and hold it there. Look on your instrument cluster, and after about 3 seconds, you'll have either the cruise indicator lamp will either flash green.
So it's using your cruise, guys, your cruise indicator lamp on your speedometer. There is what it's using. It's a double function.
Thank you for cleaning that up. It'll either flash green, meaning that's enabled, or orange, that is disabled. So roll it forward, hold it. If it flashes green, it is enabled. Roll it forward, flash it. Roll it forward, hold it for a few seconds. About 3 seconds, also known as a few seconds. And it'll turn orange. If it turns orange, that means that it is disabled. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm. And so also you guys with the newer bikes with the Boombox system, on your right handlebar is an information button.
Oh, that's right. I've seen that.
And you can actually, to see, you still need to activate it the same way.
Right.
But you can, instead of looking at the cruise, you can actually go and hit your right handlebar and hit the information button, and it'll show you air temperature,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, oil pressure, and whether EITMS is enabled or disabled. And you can simply roll the throttle forward for the 3 seconds, and you'll see right on your Boombox screen it will change to disabled, and vice versa if you want to enable it. So that's kind of handy that for the Boombox people out there. But that's it, guys. Now, we did find there are different years and different models. We did find, and I want to say, Lurch, It was on our California trip. And that was funny because the Sworn Few MC, a bunch of us were down there, of course, and a bunch of the law-abiding biker guys. And there was a couple of them that weren't quite familiar with EITMS yet. And so they started asking because it was so super hot. And so I said, "Oh, here's how you do it. Go check your bike." And I think it was Popeye's bike. And of course, LD has a CVO. CVOs, guys, that's custom vehicle operations for a reason, because they change shit all the time and it causes problems. I love CVO models, and that's great if you have one, but everything is just a little bit different. And we found that in seats, we found it in some wiring, we found it in all kinds of little things, guys. It's a custom vehicle. That's why it's a CVO. It's not built like all the others. And so sometimes it's harder to find information, and little quirks like this on this can be different. And I think it was LD's bike where we tried it. We had the ignition in the on position. We had the run switch on the handlebar, and it still wouldn't activate. So then we put it, I believe, and don't quote me on this, we did something and we actually put it in the accessory position, and then it did it. So
I vaguely remember that, and I think it was a CVO.
I think it was. So try,
yes,
if you guys, if it's not working, try the ignition on, and then try accessory with that run switch on the right handlebar, and then see if you can get that cruise control lamp to turn green and or for on and or orange for off. But I think that was everybody else that I've pretty much dealt with that asked me about it when we're out riding, I pretty much just tell them to do it this way, and it works.
That's how my 08 Street Glide did it. It's how the 15 Road Glide does it.
Okay.
I'm almost certain now that we talk about it. It was LD's, what is that, 11? 12? 12 Street Glide Special. No, Street Glide CVO.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little different. It had to be in the accessories and not ignition on.
Yeah, it was something weird like that. Or was it, this is the other thing I'm going to throw at you guys, because I can't remember, because I got CRS. Can't remember
shit disease.
Mm-hmm. Been going on for many years. My wife will tell you that I'm gravely ill with it. But I think it was actually, they had to have the bike running.
Mine will do it running as well.
So that would be another option for you CVO owners or people that cannot get it to work, depending on your year. And I think Popeye was involved in this too.
He could have been.
And I think he had to have it running or something. But try those, either on position, accessory, and or running. But I think majority of them are exactly how we explained it. And of course, the information I am giving you here is directly from Harley-Davidson for the 2014 models. And Lurch has a 2015 Road Glide, and it is true with that too.
That is correct, sir.
All right. So at the end of the day, depending on the environment you ride in, my suggestion to you guys would be just run with it on, and don't worry about when it comes winter. You got to remember to turn it. It honestly, as we've explained to you, it doesn't matter. And yes, even in 60 and 50 degree days, you'll be sitting in an intersection. If you sit there long enough, it will kick on, because it's the engine heat. Just may take it a little longer because there's a little bit cooler air running over the fins on the motor. But what say you about that? Obviously turn it off if you're riding in very cool weather all the time. It's not really going to give you any benefit to turn it off. It's not going to make your bike run faster or anything like that to turn it off. But it certainly can help maybe the longevity of the engine.
I agree. That's why I leave mine on. It only comes on when it meets certain specifications. It's not coming on all the time. So I just leave it on, and if the bike needs it, it'll turn it on. It was put on there for a reason, and perhaps my motor will last a little bit longer because I do that, keep that temperature down. So up to you, but I leave mine on all the time.
And like Lurch,
don't really hardly even notice it anymore.
And like Lurch alluded to, and I did, you'll get used to it. And once you watch the video, again, lawabidingbiker.com/EITMS, you'll be able to recognize when it kicks on. That video is very, very specific about when and how it sounds. And you'll realize it at intersection, and you'll give it that 2 little snaps with the wrist, get your fuel injectors going again, and get all your cylinders pumping, and you'll be off and running. I don't even think about it now, if that's something you're concerned about. And even if you didn't do that, it's still going to take off from the intersection. It just may lag just a second until that cylinder fires. I mean, it's so
Yeah,
instantaneous.
it's not supposed to. I just think that we're so in tune with our motors. I mean, when I'm on my bike, it's like 1. So I can just tell she's got a little something there. But for the most part, it's almost not noticeable. So if you don't give it a little...
It's negligible.
Very negligible. Nice word.
How do you like that?
Good use of the English language.
It's the first one I got today. First clap I got. That's right. All right. Anything else? Hopefully that gives you guys a good idea about EITMS and what you're doing with that. And you should go check your bikes right now. Jump up and check your bikes. See if you got it on, and if not, turn it on, especially if you're in that warmer climate and all that.
We took a wild ass guess on the year that it started putting it on there. Check out the show notes. We'll throw it in there. What years?
Funny thing, I'd search for it, Lurch.
Really?
That's why
then
I'm guessing.
I recall that offer. Either your bike has it or it doesn't. If your throttle doesn't twist forward, it's not going to do it. I think it's only on, you know what? It might only be on the fly-by-wire, the throttle, electronic throttles. I don't know how it'd work on an older bike with cables.
Well, it should. Oh.
Well, my 06 White Glide had cables, and I don't remember it having...
You're right. My White Glide 05 had cables too. So yeah, good call.
Might just be the Firewire.
When they started doing the throttle by wire.
Throttle by wire.
Good call. Good pulling that out of your arse.
So I'm guessing 07, 08, like we said.
Right in there. And like I said, there's not a lot of... 08. Lurch is sticking with 08. All right, guys.
Because that's all I can speak to. That's the oldest one I've had that had it.
But you know what? Go to... If you guys do have an older bike or you do know what year that they started doing EITMS, I'm sure I could call Harley and ask them. I just haven't had the time. We're getting the information out there for you. It'll be in your owner's manual too. But just go over and comment, guys. We love the comments on the episodes. lawabidingbiker.com/ and the episode number. Whatever episode number this is all you have to do. And there's show notes there with everything we talked about and links. And of course, it's just going to redirect you to the EITMS video and all that. But you can make comments there, guys, and me and Lurch. Obviously, you guys know Lurch is and everybody works behind the scenes, but Lurch is handling a lot of the emails and social media and comments and things like that. So he knows how much we appreciate those actual website comments, huh? They're kind of fun.
They are nice. Mm-hmm. It's nice that somebody takes their time out of their day to put a comment, positive or negative. Generally, they're positive, and taking their time to tell us how we help them. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's kind of what keeps me going at this.
Absolutely.
Just helping people out, and
it's true for you.
Their appreciation, the only reason we keep their love. It's very fulfilling.
It is.
And humbling.
It is humbling. It is very humbling. And the patrons, and like we've talked about in the past, meeting them at Sturgis and the year before in California, and just absolutely the community drives us, guys. It drives us because in this particular episode, literally probably 6 hours prep. And then it'll take, we're not giving you the violin. I don't even have a violin sound, but we're not giving you the violin. It's just, and then another
post, probably about
2 hours. And then I got to do
2.5 hours in post.
And I got to do, that's just edit
that's just
audio.
Me. And then you got to do the
notes.
You do the notes and
then
stuff.
The promo.
So we're talking 10 to 12 man hours just to pop out a show.
Just a simple show.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So, again, that's not woe is me, guys. And that, our patrons, I've said it in the past when we've met them, actually, they talk to me about it. They're like, how do you do that?
And work a full-time job.
Yeah. And work your full-time job. And where do you find that time? And they got really in depth about where do you spend time with your family and things like that. And that was heartfelt, man. And I've talked about that in the past. That was heartfelt because they get it. And that's why they're so willing to take action, because you see these people, you're like, wow, that is awesome that you'll take action to help me with this platform. Then you don't know
that you
me.
appreciate it that much and you appreciate what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's heartfelt. And again, that's what drives us to keep going, guys, because it's not all fun and games doing this stuff, but we love it. And like Lurch says, of course, the patrons, and they really, broke that down for me. And I was like, they do realize it. They do appreciate.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had that experience.
It was awesome. So, but the connections alone that we've made, are just awesome too. So, All right, guys, got off a little tangent there, but really that
happens around
I
here,
do
little sidetrack action.
When you start talking about patrons, dude, it gets me, because I've met I know these people now, and I've met a lot of them. We're on that private Facebook group, and so it's a different relationship. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And so
it's a little deeper.
I can get talking about that, and it gets me a little bugged up when I talk about, not bugged up, but
choked up.
Yeah, a little choked up at times. The support that we see from those guys. So, anyways, let's move on and let's play. So that's all I can think about EITMS. I think we hopefully not beat a dead horse.
It's some good information. I had no idea that I had it on my bike.
Right.
In fact, you had learned about it, and we were talking about it. And I said, I wonder if my bike has it, because at the time, my bike was 3 years older. You had an 11 at the time and had that 08. And we started doing the same things that you did to turn yours on and off. And lo and behold, I had it. Didn't even know it.
Yep. Yeah. And I have talked to the dealership, and they're like, you'll be surprised at how many guys bring their bikes in here and say, every time I stop at an intersection, it runs funny and it smells funny. I mean, literally. And they're like,
that'll be $75, please. We fixed it.
Just take that one right.
They could literally just roll it in, turn it off, and give it back to you. Don't worry, we fixed it. Your EITMS was on. My what was on?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for turning it off. I appreciate that.
Yeah, don't worry. We replaced your EITMS bearing.
We put a little EITMS lube on it. You're good to go.
Oh, no doubt, dude. So don't fall into that trap.
All joking aside, I could see how a guy would think something's wrong with his bike and take it in. I mean, we're being funny, and if we offend anybody that has, I apologize. But
we're not making fun of you. We're laughing with you.
Yes, I could see how somebody could fall into that trap and think something's wrong with their bike.
Yeah, totally. All right, so we're going to clean up a voicemail here. So that's pretty much it with bike and heat. We've talked about catalytic converters, guys. Hope you learn about that. We gave you some resources. Yes, you need to remap. We talked about the benefits of that. Watch out for your state laws, all that kind of stuff. We talked about EITMS, that you should have it on all the time. It's not really going to hurt anything. We gave you some tips at intersections to get up and going. We told you how to enable it, disable it, all that kind of stuff. We're going to move on now, and we're going to move on to a voicemail. And this comes from whom? Look at that, right?
From from Michaelis, Snohomish, Washington. So a local, as far as he's in our same state. He's about 3 hours north of us, but we got a
northwest
of the great city of Yakima.
Crackama.
Yeah, it is a little bit rough.
But this has been pending a while, but I think it's a question that is relevant. So let's listen to what he has to say.
I have a 2014 limited CVO and can't get a straight answer from Harley Davidson. Do you know if they offer lifetime map updates or if I'm going to have to pay for each one of the mapping updates? ? Thank you. ?
I like that.
Yeah, and it's Michael.
He must be used to talking and texting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, no doubt. Siri ? And then sometimes I do ! And that bitch gets it wrong.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, and so does she spells out ! I'm like, no.
I love my Apple products, but Siri's a dumb bitch. I go to Google and use the Google on my phone instead of Siri.
Yeah, she's getting better.
Man, that's the only thing on my iPhone I can't stand is that dumb bitch.
Now that I've corrected her a few times, she does the ! Instead of spelling it out.
She does call me Long Dong One. if we go, Siri, what's my name? She goes, your name is Long Dong One.
That's awesome, dude. She calls me Master.
Nice.
My wife's always, because I would say, Siri, give me directions to here. Okay, Master, this is the directions. And my wife just looks at me and rolls her eyes like, are you serious? I go, well, I can't get you to call me Master, so might as well have some chick calling me Master.
At least she calls you Poppy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's nice.
You're right.
Hey, Poppy.
Should we listen to that?
Hola, papi. Ven y escucha otro episodio del Lab.
Yep, that is my lovely wife, and she's a good sport. I won't get on a patron tangent, but some of the patrons talked about her. How did you get her to do that biker gripper promo? And, some of the stuff she does like that. I go, yeah, she's a good sport because it takes a little bit of, all right, I might give her a glass of wine or two. I'm not sure.
Lower her ambition.
She's like, it's so dirty. I'm like, it's not dirty. You're just talking about
a little bit.
Yeah, you're just talking about grip strength. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. 18 pounds.
We're just talking about a biker gripper, honey. That's all.
Inhibitions. Thank you. Goodness.
Yes,
that's the word.
inhibitions.
Lower her inhibitions. Not
Yes.
her ambitions. You don't want to lower her ambitions.
No.
Boy, glad I cleaned that up.
Thank you.
So what? Give us an answer on that there, Ryan.
Well, you know what? I will tell you guys, I will announce Lurch is obviously, we've announced it in the past, he's the proud new owner of a 2015 Harley Road Glide. And he now has the Boombox 6.5 touchscreen. So I want to see if he knows the answer to this.
Dude,
if he does
I don't
not,
know.
because he's answering a lot of questions. No, that's okay. So here you go.
That one I don't know. I'd either have to look it up, and if I can't figure it out, I go to the guru of the Boombox. I send you a text and go, "Hey Ryan, let's do it. Can you do a one-time fee, or does it cost each time?"
Yeah.
That's the side of the Boombox I'm still learning, is the navigational side. I've got the other side
Good luck.
figured out. I can tell that there's a lot more involved with the navigational side. I haven't even used it once yet. I need to educate
Lurch?
myself better.
How could someone out there listening right now educate themselves on how to use the navigational side?
They can go to our site and lawabidingbikers.com/videos and find our Boombox. Number one selling Boombox tutorial.
No, videos, they need to go to lawabidingbikers.com/Harley Boombox.
Well, that'll get you there too.
Videos will get you to our free videos.
Whatever.
See, god dang it.
I'm working on it.
I know,
man.
he is.
I'm working on it.
No, that's okay. We're just,
You tell him.
we're cleaning that up.
I'm going to stop talking.
No, that's all right. I love it, dude. That's the fun of this. Everybody knows who we are and how we roll, and you're getting up to speed on some of this stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. So lawabidingbiker.com/Harley Boombox, number one best-selling Harley-Davidson Boombox tutorial video series. Got the basic one up and running with the Boombox part 1 and 2 and the navigational systems. Number 2 is how to update your software. You do need to keep your software up to date. And number 3 is the ride planner, how to integrate the online ride planner that Harley provides for free. Download it, upload it to your Boombox. You can go on your trip and everything in between. I will tell you that there are some GPS problems with the most recent update, 1.19.1, I believe.
Yeah, 0.1.
And I have a blog on that, guys. Of course, get on the email list, lawabidingbiker.com/email club. I send out updates, critical updates on the Boombox along with other stuff. No spam, all that kind of stuff. So the answer to Michael's question is, do the maps cost for the Boombox? All right, so Boombox is made by Harman Kardon. That's the company that made the unit in what do you call that? In cahoots?
Yeah. Cahoots.
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 I didn't put an accent on it.
Cahoots.
With the Harley-Davidson.
They made it together.
They made
it for them.
Harman Kardon made it for Harley-Davidson, and they bought off on it, which was really dumb. And because Harman Kardon has failed miserably, and I will just say that publicly, and everybody knows that from my blogs. I still think the Boombox is a great system, but
I think that there's other people involved too. That's probably subbed out from Harman Kardon. Because Harman Kardon makes very good audio equipment.
No, I'm just saying this specifically.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the system as a whole.
As a whole.
Has some flaws, doesn't it?
It
Got a little
does.
hitch in your get along over there?
I do. I'm popping my elbow out. So, all right. So,
use the other hand.
So Harman Kardon makes it, and then on top of that, because they integrated the GPS system, they use a company called LAB-86-Harley, which I think I'm not very happy with. I will just say that nicely. Again,
You'd rather have TomTom or Garmin?
I don't know who I'd have. I'd like to have somebody that would do the job appropriately. I would like to have not Harman Kardon. I would not like to have LAB-86-Harley. I would like to have somebody that actually did what they were supposed to do. And again, I've told you guys in the past I don't want to keep going over this, but it is important. They obviously put the cart before the horse on this with the Boombox, and Harley wanted to push it so bad. It may be partly their fault too for pushing these companies to push out a product. The Boombox is still awesome, guys. It's awesome. It's the best thing on any brand motorcycle out there for an infotainment system and integrated GPS. But I am going to hack on the problems. I'm sorry, that's just human nature. It could be much, much better.
And we're open and clear here. We'll be honest with you and not just blow smoke up your ass and say a bag of goods. We'll tell you how we feel, and this is how we feel.
Absolutely. And which is another reason you really should head over and get those videos to help you through this gray hair process. But LAB-86-Harley runs the maps. You actually have to go to LAB-86-Harley. And of course, our videos show you how to check which version of map software you have. And then I show you how to go in our software and map update video within that series. I show you how to go and get check Navi extras. And so, yes, the answer to your question is the maps do cost. Of course, Harley-Davidson is not known for giving things away. An amen to that, Lurch?
So the updates cost. So when roads change and you want to update, have the most current map.
Just like Garmin. It's just like TomTom. It's no different. If you want to get the newest, greatest, if you're, let's just for
my TomTom's the same way.
For kicks, you're running 2010 maps right now, and you're like, you know what? It's 2015. I think I should update to a 2015 United States map. Yep. Bada bing, bada bang, bend over. Use Vaseline.
Do you know what?
$200. I believe.
What?
It's like one. You know what? Don't quote me. It's either 99 or 199. I think it's
Holy
199.
crap.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I'm saying.
I'll run with my old map.
Do you want to get a price for him?
I'll get a price for him.
Okay.
While you're talking.
Well, I can get a price too.
Oh. Yeah, I will. If you want to.
No, or we can.
You look.
Yeah.
While we're chatting.
I believe it's.
That seems like a lot of money.
Well, it's not. And
it's not?
Well, no. I mean, no, I shouldn't have said that. I mean, it is what I should say.
Okay.
And it is $199.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll correct it in the show notes if we're wrong.
Then again, let me ask you, because maybe you're going to get to it, but I have a little bit of ADD. $199 forever, or is that per upgrade?
No, that's per upgrade.
Wow.
No, guaranteed.
Yowzer.
And it's in my video. Let's just take a small break and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we just looked it up, and it is in fact $199.95.
Balls.
And so the answer to the question is yes, it does cost you, and that's nothing we can do about that, of course, us little guys. But there are companies that different car manufacturers that you can purchase the system within the car, and they will give you lifetime free updates. But Harley-Davidson is not doing that. And so if you want a map of Africa or South America or Middle East, or you're traveling to the Middle East soon, aren't you, Lurch?
No, but if I was, I guess I...
Dude, you're going to go kick some Middle East ass.
Yes, I would.
You are, aren't you?
I would free the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
I just walk around with my talawhacker hanging out. But listen, if I was going to Ireland to ride around...
Would you just walk around like this and just look at people and just stop in the street? Just to see what they did?
Yeah. Listen, if I was going to Ireland and ride around the west side of Ireland...
It'd cost you $199.95, bitch.
But you know what? That's one thing. I'm going to another continent. I want another continent map. But just to update mine of the U.S., that doesn't seem right.
Well, it doesn't seem right. Look at right here. Map of North America. Oh, special bonus, $149.95.
Screw those guys.
Oh, that's a save. You guys got to get on that right now. NaviExtras.com.
To upgrade my current map should cost me anywhere from $12.95 to $24.95. Other than that, you're just raping me.
Is that what TomTom and all them charge?
Well, they're a lot cheaper. I know that. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying about this Navi Extras. I'll publicly say it, and I've said it before. This company, I don't know why Harley-Davidson picked
now
it.
I got to look
They're
that up.
raping people.
Now I got to look that up.
Okay.
We're talking. I'm just saying that's more of an acceptable price. But
sale of the day, guys.
Update your map.
Map of North America, $149.95.
Rip.
No doubt. And leave it, Harley really, like I said, they muffed it on a lot of this stuff. It is what it is. All right. So while Lurch is looking that up to see, as a comparison, I should say, I'm going to cover a quick email and then we're going to get right on out of here, guys. All right, here's the email. And we appreciate your emails, guys. And if you want to contact us, lawabidingbiker.com/ yes, that was a neck bubble. Lurch.
Neck bubble.
lawabidingbiker.com/contact. And we have
my head moving towards the microphone, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I saw your head move over like you were going to say something. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/contact, or just admin@lawabidingbiker.com, or Ryan@lawabidingbiker.com, or Matt@lawabidingbiker.com, any of that stuff. So Pat in Portuna of Henderson, Nevada. Podcast is subject product used in a video. All right. I watched a excellent video on servicing your own bike with Ryan, and I believe he's talking about our main maintenance video, guys. And if you want to get our updated and improved and just awesome maintenance video to save yourself a ton of money. lawabidingbiker.com/2014 Harley maintenance. It works for a ton of models, all touring models, Dyna models. It doesn't matter what your fairings or non-fairings. It doesn't matter. Our service video will work for any of those. They're all the same. Same frames, same motors. I should say a little bit different frames, but same motors and same belts and same levers and all that. So he says one product to use and recommended in the video was a K&N filter cleaner. But when I sent an email to K&N, they said that Harley uses paper filters and their products may damage the filter on my bike. I have a stage 1 filter on my bike. He means intake. And don't know if K&N will cause damage. In the video, it did not make mention as to what type of filter was being cleaned on the bike. I know it was a stage 1, but don't know if it was paper. Do you have any suggestions? So here you go. Pat in Portuna of Henderson, Nevada. So that video, I think the one you're talking about is our free video that we gave. Was one of our very first videos and still most popular when we had no idea what we were doing, but we were just putting ourselves out there like we still do, but definitely didn't. We know what we're doing. We just didn't know how to film it and put it out. Thank you. Yes. We knew what we were doing with service, but we were just like, let's make a YouTube video. And that's really at the same time we were starting the podcast. And that's where we are today because of that very video and that very start in our very first podcast. So it's funny that you mentioned this video, but we were doing his LD's 2012 CVO. So you're going to run into two type of filters, guys. We've talked about this briefly in the past, but this is great information, evergreen content, of course, that I think will be useful. So some of the older bikes and Harley used, and some they used what's called kind of an oil bath filter. So you would take your air filter, and K&N still runs some of those, and some of the older Harleys, you would take your filter and you would clean it with K&N cleaner, and then after you cleaned it, you would actually put a coat of oil on your filter to get rid of the dust going into the intake and all that kind of stuff. So really, I can't tell you what year because it depends on if you're using an aftermarket a stage 1 or if you're using a Harley stage 1, that kind of stuff. I will tell you that my 2011 and since then, and my 2014 Street Glide Special that I have now, they went to the Harley stock filters, I should say, and even the stage 1 kits, Harley stage 1 kits, and even Oscar got I forget what brand he got of a stage 1. Tons of people make stage 1. Big deal. It's just open it up, giving your bike more air. But they are all paper mesh filters. And so with those paper mesh filters, and all the new stock Harley-Davidson filters are paper mesh, you're not using K&N cleaners. You're not using, do not put oil on them. It will tell you that in the service manual. If you choose to purchase one of those, I think it even tells you that in your owner's manual, if I can remember right. I have a service manual, but do not put oil on them. All you do is put them in warm soapy water, and then you let them air dry and or low pressure air from an air compressor to dry them off. That's what the dealership does, and that's how I do it. So, that's a loaded question, and I appreciate that. We appreciate the email. But again, depending on what aftermarket, and K&N still makes filters, there's other manufacturers that make them that are what I call, lack of a better term, an oil bath type filter, where you're actually using K&N and you're cleaning them, and then you're actually, before you put them back on, you're putting some coat of oil, kind of like my lawn tractor. I have to do that. There's a little sponge type thing. The filter's dry, but then you put a sponge thing over with oil. It's supposed to get rid of some of the dust particles. But anyways, all the new Harleys and most of the aftermarket stage 1s are all dry filters. They're paper mesh. Do not use K&N. Do not use oil on them. Just simply wash them in warm soapy water. Rinse them from the inside out, just as we showed you on that video. And from there, you can air dry them in the sun and or blow them out with low pressure air compressor air. Do you have anything to add to that, Lurch?
No, you eloquently covered that, sir.
Thank you. Again, if you guys want to get our most up-to-date video on maintenance and everything you need to know, lawabidingbiker.com/2014 Harley maintenance. All touring models, all Dyna models. We're going to do one on soft tails and some things like that, but even that it will get you in the ballpark, because the only difference is the location of the drain plugs and things like that. The belts are all the same, and levers and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, I see you've been over there on the sofa. Number one, with your hand inappropriately where it should be a number 2. You've been researching heavily. So either you were looking at Victoria's Secret or you were researching. Okay. One of the two, dude. Is Buddy gone?
Buddy is gone.
Okay.
I think he left us and went downstairs with the girls when they
he heard the
rolled
dishes
in.
clanking and food.
I think he heard the garage door go up and he went down. Yes, from my research, it looks like.
So we're going back to the maps.
Going back to the maps. It
And
looks
what
like
were you researching?
Garmin and TomTom.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it looks like on average it's $39 to buy a map.
Wow.
Or $99 for a lifetime.
Navi extras, highway, robbery. How much was it for the new map?
$149 on sale.
No, not Navi, but yours?
Oh, $39.
$39, okay.
For one time, it was $99 for a lifetime is what it was showing on the interwebs. And they're charging on sale $149 for a one-shot deal.
Wow.
They need to get that together.
You know what? And that's what I just think, HD. I love Harley Davidson. I do, guys. But I'm not afraid to tell the truth, like Lurch says. And I just think that they got with Harman Kardon, they got with Navis, they pushed it. These companies maybe screwed them behind the scenes like this.
Yeah,
where
everything's got to cost at least $100.
It's proprietary now because you're screwed. You got an awesome boombox system in your Harley, and now you've got to deal with Navi extras and just get raped on maps, and you can go nowhere else, right?
Right.
So they got the monopoly. Very, very interesting. Do you want to handle this last email, and then we'll take it on out of here?
Oh, this was from Alex from the interweb. His subject is heated hand grip installation video. And here's what he has to say.
This. Lurch is all over heated grips.
Yeah. So here's what he has to say. Just a quick question before I drop the coin on your video. I have a 2014 CVO Softail Deluxe and a package of HD brand Slipstream heated hand grips. Is your video right for my application? Thanks. Well, the answer is yes. Our video is for all Harley-Davidson models and let me correct that. It's for all Harley-Davidson hand heated grips. And the Slipstream are an HD brand. Now, we've got two different installation videos. We've got one for fairing bikes or touring bikes, and we've got one
that's our handlebar video.
What?
Heated grips, we only have one video and it covers everybody. Our handlebar video, we have touring and non-touring.
Why do you even let me in here, man? I'm a mess today.
That's all right, dude. This is actually you came over for a training night, didn't you?
I did.
Because we're coming over
to evidently you need to train me more. And as we were talking, dude, I was thinking we should actually go through and do some work in the ride planner and map system because I haven't got into that yet. And
yes,
since you are the guru of the boom system, I'm lucky enough to get hopefully free instruction.
Right. Well, you're getting up to it.
I'll bring some beer and cigars.
Yeah. So
to
heated grips just one video, but we have multiple.
I was thinking of our handlebar videos.
Yes.
Sorry.
We have the multiple video files. Remember in that if you purchase it.
Yes.
So it covers, non-touring and touring, but it's all in one video, regardless of what you have. Go ahead from there.
No, I think I've screwed it up enough.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Lurch is talking about, dude, do not feel bad. It's all right. Lurch is over there. He's crying. He's got a tear in his beer. All right. And yes, our video is for all Harley-Davidson brand heated grips and split stream are just a specific
design
model. Yes, they're exact design. And so, yes, of course, our video works for that. All HD brand grips install the same, guys. It doesn't matter how they look, whether they're Willie G like I have or the split stream. You can get our Harley. We have one Harley heated grip video. It's lawabidingbiker.com/Harley heated grips. All the video files are there, guys. Different years, different makes, different models. It will get you like 99% in the ballpark. The only thing that's going to be different is exactly where you tie into power. And we've got multiple video files in there that show you depending on what bike you have. We've had zero recent problems on that at all, huh, Lurch?
Yep.
And lots of people have been buying that video and they're like just sending us pictures and thank yous and all kinds of stuff. So,
and if something weird happens and we can't help you out or you can't figure it out and you think our video sucks, we'll refund your money.
Yeah.
That's how we roll, man.
That's right. That's right. We're here to help bikers, guys. And we've had one guy, remember? One guy out of, I won't even say how many of those we've sold because I don't know the number, but it was one guy. That's the only complaint.
I just think he lacked mechanical knowledge and basically.
Like how to start his bike. I'm like, I don't, and
So we sent him his money back.
Oh, dude, bye. Sorry, we're here to help you. And so anyways, it's been very, very popular. So split stream grips, I've got a link here. And those are just the ones with a little bit of rubber and silver there.
In fact, we put those on Chewy's bike. Those are exact ones that are on Chewy's bike.
There you go. And some of his video files are in that video. So there you go, guys. All right. Anything before we take it out here? That's been a great episode. I think there's a ton of information there. How about you?
Oh yeah, we covered a couple different things.
Yes, we did.
Was it entertaining?
Oh, yeah.
Was it informational?
No, I hope it was informational.
Well, so I got it backwards. Big deal.
I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was
infotaining.
Attaboy. Thanks, guys, for sticking with us. We're still coming at you strong. Of course, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support and all you patrons. Really, if you guys can, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. And we're trying to ramp that, what do you call it? Campaign?
Yeah.
For lack of better. We're trying to really rack that campaign up and get more of you on board. Really, guys.
Structured amount that we get each month that really helps us figure out what we can put out, because it costs to buy film gear. It costs to host videos. It costs to host audio. All this costs money. And, we're pretty much doing this as a hobby. Service and a hobby,
It's turned into more than a hobby because people are pretty demanding now, and we appreciate that.
Someday maybe it'll be a full-time business, but that Patreon structure is huge. It gives us a monthly allowance that we know that we can operate within.
Yep. Very well said. And, the only other option we have, guys, and we don't want to do that, me and Lurch have talked about it, because obviously Lurch is working, at least half-time doing this from his full-time job like me. I'm doing it full-time along with my full-time job. But, we don't want to hide it behind a membership. We don't want to hide it behind a membership wall. And so, and the Patreon gives you the ability to say, hey, I'm willing to do it, even though you're not hiding it behind a wall, because I appreciate the content so much. So anyways, enough said with that. Don't forget, lawabidingbiker.com hotline 509-731-3548 or lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail from your computer anywhere in the world. We'd like to get some new iTunes ratings, guys. It's been a while. We've got a lot of good ones, but it's free, guys. If you can't do anything else and you're like, I just can't yet, lawabidingbiker.com/iTunes or /Stitcher Radio. Leave us a rating. It helps boost our rankings so that more law-abiding bikers can join us and find out about us all over the world and join the biker revolution. Peace out, guys. Keep the rubber side down
and the shiny side up.